Welcome back to Aliens with JW, the podcast where aliens have conversations with humans. Today's guest is Mark Irwin, president of Mad Caves. He's working to bring stories to the world. Mark, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let's start at the beginning. What inspired you, or when did you fall in love with comic books and graphic novels?
I was exposed to them at a young age. I had a couple of uncles that were hippies that exposed me to stuff like heavy metal and National Lampoon and Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers. And I already loved to draw from a very early age. So I just fell in love with comics, and then eventually got exposed to Marvel and DC stuff, and yeah, and just never have stopped loving comics. So
Yeah. And I know like you worked with a lot of different companies, done a lot of amazing things. What have you learned about yourself and throughout your career?
well, I've been lucky. I went to a comic book art school. That helped me make enough connections to get a little bit of work while I was in school, and eventually once I graduated from school. And each company that I've been with, and each stop that I've been through along the way, um, I've learned something new. I've learned a new skill set, whether it was learning how to be an editor, or learning how to be a project manager, or learning how to be a brand manager, or learning how to make things that were not comics, things like toys and trading cards, and you know all sorts of things that are associated with our industry. But that was really the benefit of all the different companies that I worked for, was learning new skills and um, identifying like what I was good at and what I wasn't good at, and um, trying to be better at the things I wasn't good at, and kind of learn along the way.
Yeah. And I know you currently right now you're the president at Mad Caves. And being president, what is like the day in the life for you?
Oh, well, it's a mix of many things. Everything from going through contracts on a daily basis, to planning seasonal output, to planning our master schedule with our publisher, taking a look at pitches from different creators, identifying places where we want to be stronger or want to change things. It also involves, simple day-to-day stuff like dealing with our human resources team, or dealing with our finance team. Um, every day there's like a new thing, and it's a very exciting place to be. Mad Cave Studios is growing on a daily basis, so the workload is always interesting.
Yeah. And I know you have like someone Mad Caves have some really amazing book graphic novels coming out, like Speed Racer. Can you tell me a little bit about your excitement for that book coming out?
Oh yeah, Speed Racer is very exciting to our company. I'm a big fan of Tatsunoko Co., the company that created both Speed Racer and Gotcha Man, which we published both those books. We're also going to be publishing a couple other Tatsunoko Co. titles down the line. So we're very excited to work with them. They're kind of like the grandfather of the anime industry in Japan. So they're like a lot of what people love about anime comes from their indelible creations, things like Speed Racer and Gotcha Man. So being able to work on these properties is a privilege. They're an incredible company to work with as well. They're like the nicest people, and we really enjoy our partnership with them. And we hope that we can bring the adventures of Speed Racer to new audiences, people who perhaps weren't as familiar with the character or the things that go on in the stories around Speed Racer. Kind of the same approach that we took with Gotcha Men in that way. Um, Yeah, and I actually got to do a cover for one of the Speed Racer issues, and that was super fun. Especially because I haven't inked in a while, so that was a fun challenge. And yeah, it's an exciting time right now with Speed Racer.
Oh, that's amazing. And like you got the opportunity to get back to like creating again. How did it feel getting back to drawing again and creating art?
Uh, I felt very rusty. Um, I was inking over Joe Quesada, who's an industry legend, and somebody who I had never inked before in my career. Um, and I hadn't inked in almost 6 years, so shaking off a lot of rust and kind of remembering like what made inking fun for me. And Joe's such a great artist that it'd be hard to make him look bad, but I did my best to make him look good. So always fun to get in, put on that side of the desk.
Yeah. And like do you I know currently right now you are a leader in the industry. Do you ever miss inking and drawing?
Um, on occasion, I mean, I doodle a lot while I'm in meetings or on the phone, and every now and then something encourages me to want to ink again. Like I said, the Joe Quesada cover being one of those things. Um, but as my career in inking, uh, as I got to kind of a place where I knew I was going to start probably walking away from it, I started writing, and writing is a newer challenge to me, just like being a president of a publishing company is. So I kind of enjoy those challenges a little bit more now. Writing is really, really hard. A completely different type of muscle than what I used for, drawing and inking. So, um, yeah, it's like I said, it's always a fun challenge. I love the making of cool books. So, however I can be a part of the process is fun for me.
Yeah. And like and being a leader, is there like anything you've learned about yourself in getting into writing and writing new stories?
Yeah, I mean, when I have time, which doesn't seem very often lately, uh, I'll write down ideas and things that I think would make for a cool book. We talk about those ideas amongst all the other ideas that come from the team. Come from a company of creatives. So everybody in the company, especially our founder, Mark London. We all create. Mark is writing a ton of books. He's way better at it than I am. So, I try not to get in the way with that kind of stuff. My own things, it's like if they happen, they happen. And if they don't, they don't. It's okay.
Oh, that's cool. And like, I actually want to ask you this interesting question because you're more into writing. Like, if you were a superhero, what would be your symbol, and what would your symbol mean?
Oh, uh, I, that's an interesting question. Uh, I would probably be the Flash and probably wear the Flash uniform because being fast is something that I always aspire to. I like to move fast. I like to get things done quickly because that allows me to do more things. So, um, yeah, I would say that's probably you'd probably see the lightning bolt on me, and if I stood still long enough for you to see me.
Um, if you can write any graphic novel or book, past, present, or future, what would it be?
Well, I mean, I like uh, I like music quite a bit, and specifically kind of hard rock and heavy metal and music like that. So, I've worked on a lot of those types of graphic novels. I've written a few, um, and I love making those types of books that are kind of historical and talk about the making of an album or the beginnings of a band. I really enjoy that kind of stuff. But I also worked on, stuff like Brightest Day, Blackest Night, and Batman and Robin, and the X-Men, and I really enjoy all of that stuff. To me, uh, I'm probably as big a nerd as the next person, but I've just been very lucky that the things that I really really enjoy, I've had an opportunity to work on. Everything from books on the band Rush, my favorite band, to making beer that had the Mad Cave label on it.
Oh, that's
All of that, all of that kind of stuff is different and fun and exciting. So,
yeah. And and thinking about like being like you're an artist and but you're more like in the leadership role. If you were to have a conversation with the younger version of yourself, what do you think he would say?
whew, wow, so many things. I would say to kind of be mindful more of the future. Maybe I would have gotten to this place a little bit sooner than at this age. I would also say, just keep enjoying and cherishing the moments you have with your family, um, and the things that you love. Whether it's going to a concert of a band that I love, or surfing, or hanging out with friends. Like all of that kind of stuff is important, and it's good to remember how important that is sometimes.
Mhm. That leads me to my next question. What is inspiring your work the most right now?
The challenge of it. I've worked for a lot of companies, and I've typically been sort of middle management. Building projects, getting things done, but never in charge of everything. And every day I wake up, it's a new challenge. It's something like I'm both learning and trying to apply lessons that I have learned over time to things that occur daily. On top of that, the comics industry is a constantly evolving and changing industry. So having an eye on how those changes are occurring and where they're occurring is really important to trying to guide the company. Um, Thankfully, I work with a lot of really, really good, talented, smart people. They make me look better, uh, you know, uh, and I'm very, very thankful for the team that we have here.
Mm. And and thinking about the challenges, and I won't even call them challenges. I'll rephrase my wording and be like the opportunities that are in the
Mm.
space with the advancement of technologies. What role do you see like AI and other cool technologies playing in the industry to make things easier for creative for them to be more continue to create amazing work?
I think in terms of if you're asking about AI, our company, we put out public statements about AI. We are not supporters of AI as currently constituted. We don't want our writers using it. We don't want artists using it or pitching to us with things that are created by AI. From a creative perspective, the way AI is currently made and the way it currently generates what it generates is is by combing through the data of the work of people who put in the sweat equity, and have garnered the education and put in the hours and everything to become who they are. AI takes all that for free and spits it out, and um, allows people that you know, didn't take the time to learn the thing, didn't take the time to, get that education and put in the sweat equity, um, to create a thing. And often that thing is like a weird sort of, uh, mishmash of multiple people's sweat equity. So I just, for us, it's not something that we believe in. Um, you know, we are very, very big um, on creators, creator rights, um, supporting our creators as best as we can as a publisher, not taking advantage of creators. Unfortunately, that is a sad fact of the comics industry. Is that since it started, there's always been somebody taking advantage of somebody, and we're trying very hard to not be a company like that. And I think AI is, as is currently constituted, a tool that takes advantage. Until the day when, every artist gets a, 10-cent royalty because their data was combed to create an artist, to create a piece of art, or whatever, however that, you know, until the day they start getting checks based on somebody else using their work, then it's a non-starter for me.
I'm happy you brought that. You said it in that way because of like in my own work as well. I just refuse to use AI. I was
Mm,
like, I'm gonna hand draw all my own art. I'm gonna digitize my own work because I want to have complete ownership of it. I want to own my copyrights of it. And I was like, I went to an engineering school, so I was like, if I ever do it, I'm gonna build my own algorithm and train AI on my own work, on my own movements, that is all 100% my work. And I'm not
right,
pulling data from other people's repository. So I'm like, if you use it as a creative, make sure it's learning from you and you alone, not other people's stuff, and use it in house for your stuff. Like if you're going to go, if you have a car scene, drive your own car, record yourself driving your own car 1,000 different times in different scenarios. If you want a
right,
background, go to places and create your own backgrounds in different places and travel the world and build your AI model off your own original IP. And I'm like, if you do it that way, I'm like, I'm for it. So I'm like, it's yours. It is learning from you. It is just not an assistant. So I'm happy to hear
yeah,
your take on it as well.
yeah, yeah. No, we're very, very clear about the use of AI when it comes to Mad Cave and what we publish. So, um, yeah, the thing that everybody loves comics, and there's definitely a romanticism to how cool it can be, and you can grow your hair long, and you can work in shorts and a t-shirt like I am right now. Like you can be who you want to be in comics. I mean, as a visitor from another planet, you kind of know what I'm saying. So,
Yeah,
um, you know, I think I think what people don't talk about and don't understand is the work. Requires a lot of work to make it in comics. And even if you work hard and work a lot, it's no guarantee that you'll make it. I've been doing this for 30 years, and I'm very, very thankful for the opportunities I've had. But I would never claim that I made it. I have to work. I have to continue to work. I have to work hard. But I love it, and I can't imagine doing anything else. I'd make a terrible accountant. Um, I'd make a terrible lawyer. I did construction before I got into this industry, and I never want to go back to doing that. So we're lucky in a lot of ways, working in this industry, but it does require hard work.
yeah, like, I totally agree with you because like before this, I worked in tech. Worked in tech for multiple companies. I started off engineering, then I went to tech recruiting, And then sometime I was like, I just want to focus on my childhood love of being an artist. And so
Mm,
I'm a full-time artist. I also teach art for a living, and it's you do it out of love. And it's like for me, I'm like, nobody's paying me to do this. I'm just doing it because I love it. And I'm like, if it makes it, I'm like, cool. If it doesn't, I'm still gonna continue to do it from a place of love. And I think that's the
yeah,
beautiful thing about being an artist or just doing anything in life. It's like if you love it, you don't really care if you're getting paid for it. If you get paid for it, great. But then you're like, I made it. I officially not made it. Make on progress of continue to live the life I want to live.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you've come a long way from your home planet to this planet to do the things that you're doing, and yeah, being happy is a big part of it.
Yeah. And like I want to kind of like ask because like my we're aliens and we're visiting planet Earth, and so do you have any questions for me as an alien?
Yeah, absolutely. For one, where did you land? Uh, for two, once you landed here, how did you find the climate? Were you comfortable? Um, three, have you brought any of your customs from your planet to our planet?
Yeah. So when I landed, I actually landed in New York City first.
Mm,
Because New York was like we did our research and we looked in Times Square. There's a bunch of aliens running around. You got Mickey, you got all these different characters. So I was like, if I decide to walk in Times Square, I will blend in if I decide to do that. And then and
sure.
then I was like, I did that, and then I eventually the climate of the drastic change of the New York climate from hot to cold. We were like, let's experiment. And then we started looking at other places and we're like, what are other places that are very open? And like I looked at New Orleans. New Orleans, I started seeing like vampire movies and very different things. And I was like, oh, they're very open to this type of world. So
Yeah.
we recently came to New Orleans. We're accepted, but we also kind of like do like we also saw Men in Black as well.
Mm.
So we do like a little transition where sometimes at late at night we could walk around as an alien like this. Halloween we could definitely go out and have a great time. Um,
Right.
Mardi Gras we could definitely go out in Mardi Gras and fully be accepted.
Yeah.
But every now and again, we do a little transition in Joshua. We go out as in human form, just to blend in.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's smart. That's smart. You wanna make the people around you comfortable so you can kind of understand their ways. So that's cool.
Mhm. And one custom that we found that was very enjoyable, squid jerky. We on our planet love squid jerky. And on planet Earth, there's a lot of squid. So we have been enjoying squid. We found an amazing product called a hermit. No, 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 the hermit, I believe that's the name of it. And we've been eating their jerky.
Yeah. I have no words. That's amazing. That's I'm very I'm very happy for you. Uh, oh man. Well, I have to tell you that I am very much enjoying this podcast. I don't run into many aliens in my neck of the woods, so I'm always happy to meet an alien and talk things through.
Yeah, and so are there any customs on Earth that you should think of restaurants or places or anything that you would recommend to us?
Sure, yeah. If you ever come out to the West Coast, you definitely have to go to In-N-Out Burger. You also have to come to San Diego, which is home of the best Mexican food, this side of Mexico. Don't let anybody steer you to Tex-Mex or Los Angeles or any of those places. They don't know. They don't know. It's all here. San Diego is the home of good Mexican food. So, and we have a pretty awesome comic convention to boot. So,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, oh comic, we fit right in because we've been doing our research and we've been realizing Comic Con and conventions we fit at home. So we will definitely be visiting. In regards to tacos, what do you prefer hard taco or the soft shell?
Hmm. I prefer corn tortillas, but I don't like them rock hard. I like them the way it's served here, which is they're cooked and they're warm, but they're not hard. Um, you know, good fish taco. You have fish on the corn tortilla, some pico de gallo, a little bit of salsa. You know, perfect.
Yes, that sounds amazing. And then like in regards to advice, because like
Mm,
on our planet as well, we tell a lot of stories. And
right.
eventually we want to tell a story about our experience on Earth. What would be some advice that you would give us into telling our story to our people on our planet?
Well, I think, I mean, I can't speak to the citizenry of your planet and to what they prefer to experience, but I will say that on this planet, um, the best way to tell stories is through comics, mainly because you have the visual component coupled with the word component. And it's a easy entry for people that don't necessarily like to read a book. Um, it's an easy entry for people that have an understanding of what they want to see, um, and it's a great, quick way to convey your story. Rather than sitting through a 2-hour movie, you can give somebody a series of comic books or a graphic novel, and they'll get through it quickly, and they'll understand your story that much sooner.
Oh,
Um, yeah.
yeah. And thinking about comic books, I know you mentioned The Flash and something. What are some other comic books that you believe we should read?
Oh, well, you should definitely check out Mad Cave Studios output. We make a lot of incredible books. We do Flash Gordon, we do Gotcha Man, we do Speed Racer, we do Dick Tracy. We have a series right now called Endless Night that is created by our founder, Mark London. Incredible series. But we also do books for kids. We do Asterix and we do the Smurfs and the Loud House, Geronimo Stilton, um, plus a lot of books that we created ourselves. Um, so, whatever type of material you like to read, whether you like horror or you like a slice of life or you like heroes or you like science fiction or fantasy, we publish all of that type of material in a variety of different ways as well. So it's not one size fits all. If you like floppy comic book, we have those. If you like graphic novels, we have those. If you like manga, we publish manga. Um, so there's a number of different types of books that are available to you. As far as me personally, I like a little bit of everything. I worked for Marvel and DC for a very long time as an artist, and I very much enjoy all of those types of books as well. Mad Cave Studios does not publish superheroes, but I enjoy superheroes just like the next person. I also like graphic novels about music, as I mentioned earlier. I've made a few of those as well. Um, all these books on my shelf are different types of books, and they're all books that I worked on. So I think whatever type of thing you like to read, you can find it in comics. Comics is the coolest place to find all the coolest stories.
Oh, that's so amazing. Thank you so much. Like, I really appreciate that. And like, we are aliens. We like a lot. Have different individuals on our planet, and so they like a little bit of everything. So, um, when we do go, and after this is over, I'm definitely going to go tell the aliens. We're from planet Appleway, actually. So I'm gonna
Mm,
let all the aliens know we gotta go to the Mad Cave Studio and we gotta start buying more of the books because we're familiar with a few of them, but we need to dive a little more deeper into all of your originals as well. And so we're super excited for that as well. We do have like do you have any? any more questions for me before we go?
Yeah, I would love to ask you, I noticed like, so you have like kind of icy gorilla paws, and then you have like kind of purple kind of gorilla exterior, but then you have like quite huge eyes with giant horns and giant ears. What is the climate like on your planet that has caused these genetic um, cool adaptations in your people?
Hmm, I would say we did some research and we realized that our climate is very similar to the dinosaurs' original climate on Earth. It's very
Oh, okay.
it's very similar climate. Luckily, our bodies we're very adaptable. So when we first did come to Earth, we did struggle a lot with the oxygen levels, and
Yeah.
so we were able to build like some respiratory things that help us breathe better and stuff. And then over time, we got better at it. So we had a very similar climate. I think I saw like Jurassic Park, and we were like how most of the dinosaurs went back to the warmer parts of the equator, and that's kind of like what happened when we went to New York City. It was too sporadic and too cold at times, and that's kind of like what made us come closer to New Orleans. Eventually, we're like, but New Orleans is a little too humid for us. It, like we start getting asthma and stuff. We're like, we're aliens. Why do I have asthma? And we're like, oh,
Oh
we might need
no.
to go further down to the equator. So we're just
Oh,
yeah. So we might be making
so
another move soon.
so to like where? Like Costa Rica or Chile or like what is your plan?
Oh, we're trying to figure that out. What would you recommend? What would you recommend?
Costa Rica is wonderful. I've been there a couple times. I really enjoy it down there. New Zealand is beautiful. I just spent 2 months there and absolutely loved it. Um, Japan is always a great trip. The food is incredible. The people are really, really lovely, and it's a great way of life. Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong if you're trying to get out of this country. You can't go wrong. Even Canada, like Canada is not at the equator, but Canada is a great country filled with great people. So yeah, the choices are endless.
Yes, yes. Like I think I have one question for you. Would
Mhm.
you ever, like say, if time goes on, would you ever want to be a guest on our planet and come tour our world?
Of course, of course. I mean, I love to travel. I'm in.
Yeah, yes, yes. Well, definitely. Um, in regards to we have some other random questions for you, and it's gonna be some really random. Um,
Okay.
what is your favorite food to eat?
Oh boy. My wife would tell you it's burritos. I love a good burrito, and can eat way too many of them. But I probably would say either fish tacos or sushi. I love both those things quite a bit. I'm trying to be a little bit healthier in my old age, so not as many burritos. So,
Yeah. We love sushi as well. It falls in like the squid family, the squid jerky family. So we love sushi.
mhm.
The next one would be because we're trying to get more into music.
Mm.
What is like your favorite song on on your playlist?
Oh boy. Uh, now I'm really going to date myself on this podcast. My favorite song is a song called "Free Will" by the rock band Rush, who is also my favorite band. That song says everything that I wish I could say, and in some ways saved my life. It's just a very inspiring song. To this day, I've listened to it thousands of times, and to this day, it still gives me goosebumps when I listen to it.
Oh, I'm gonna have to listen to it. We're going to play it. We're going to have to listen to it, and then
Yeah.
the next one would be um Is there anything you would like to share with the people, the aliens on the planet Appleway?
Anything I'd like to share? Yeah, sure. I would share that don't pay too much attention to the news of what you see on Earth. Most Earth people as a whole want the same things. We want security, we want to feel safe, but we also want to see people succeed, and we want everybody to feel healthy and educated and happy. And we're actually all a lot more aligned and together than it may appear if you watch the 24-hour news cycle.
Yeah, thank you. That's kind of like why we kind of like created a podcast because we wanted to actually hear from humans indirectly and learn their story and learn more about them. And because we was like, even on our planet, sometimes the news sometimes doesn't really give you the truth about what's going on. So we were like,
Yeah,
we took that same approach here. We were like, the news is saying this, but let's quit the podcast to really talk to real humans and get their take on the world, learn more about their stories. And you're one of the people we found very fascinating, and we want to just learn so much more about you. So we want to say super thank you for taking the time to come and hang out with us. The aliens, we really appreciate it. Thank you for taking time to come on our show. If anybody's out there, if you like the conversation, feel free to share it with a friend or a loved one. Until next time on Aliens with JW, the podcast where we have conversation with amazing humans.
thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.